within Labtech is you've got those ad hoc situations where you've got something to do in the system, where you want to delete an application, or you want to start a process, start a service, something like that. A lot of the functionality within Labtech is hidden by way of right-click functionality, shift right-click functionality. If I just right-click on that and restart the service, it would go away and restart the service. But if I hold down shift and then restart service, make sure I'm holding down shift this time, we get a prompt. So it's taking what it was doing in the back end before, and then it's we'll actually want to create a script to do this. Okay, what we'll do, we'll give it a name. So when you want to do this, done it twice. So we've got a lot of scripts, and now we're actually creating a script that will do this, and then we can go back to our scripting tab in there, and then we've got the actions that we did. So all the things that you create, and if you give it a better name than I did there, you would actually pick out which one I just created. But that's for applications that you find on an individual machine's interface. All those kind of things. If you just right click and remove it, it will go and do it. But if you start shift and right click, all the kind of back end of what it will be doing is exposed to you, so you can start saving it. Once it's done, you can go back into it and start editing it. If you want to add in extra steps, we can do that as well. So basically all those kind of things we can cover off. Now that's a creation of scripts. Now what we'll do as well is we'll look at how we apply those to machines. The default in Kaseya was, if you wanted to run a script, you went into the script tab, pick the script, and then pick the individual machines that you wanted to run it on or schedule it on, and that was you. Even at a template level, you picked your Kaseya agent that you wanted to be your template account. You scheduled up loads of scripts on that, and then use that either to copy manually, or the script schedule from that to individual agents, or you could have agents pick up on those schedules when an agent first checked in. Set that all up in the deployment package. The ad hoc approach and the automated maintenance style script approach is far clearer in Labtech. So if we want to just run an individual script, we can take a client there, and we've got all the scripts available to us from the same tree menu. If you want to do an location, we can do scripts from the location as well. So all the machines in that location, and again at a client level as well. We can have individual client scripts. We can have individual scripts that will run on every machine under that tree. So far easier to manage your ad hoc approach to that. But also if we start getting into the groups, which we've not touched on yet, this is something that Kaseya doesn't really have. So we kind of touched on the template accounts that you would have, that you can copy settings from to live agents, all that kind of stuff. This takes a far more global approach to it, how you manage your machines. So if we're getting into things like the managed services approach. So remember we did in the admin section, we had our schedule with the set up the audit, and then we had the template that more or less configured the agent. If we go into the group now, we can see here that the template is tied into here, so that's tying all the way back to your audit. And we can start giving people access to machines. So if we want users to be able to VNC their own machines in the system, we can do that as well. By default, the admin will be in there, and they can pretty much have God access to everything. And there's loads of stuff in here where we can start configuring how we automate our approach to machine management. So this is just a group, it's managed services, how we actually manage the people within that. We've got managed services here, that settings in there cascade down into this child group growth, and we can start layering up more stuff in there. And all we're doing to add people in is we just drag and drop. So if we want to add, we brought someone online, it's going to be a gold customer, we just drag and drop that entire customer or individual agent, or again location, we can start moving stuff about. So here we've got the location, the main office of our T2 group there, this one's been dropped into there as well. So the actual management of how you control your automated scripting, your maintenance, your monitoring, your patch management is all a lot more global, if you like. It's very easy to see in the system what is getting applied to your client's machines. And it's not just, you can't it's not just one group you can be a member of. You could have your main managed services approach, if you like. You can have gold and silver and all that kind of stuff. You could also have groups in there that manage specific types of machines. So if you have loads of Exchange servers and SQL servers, you create a root group for your Exchange servers, and you would come in here and say, actually, I want to auto-join any Exchange servers I manage. I want to automatically be a member of this group. So when you bring an agent online, does its audits, finds out it's got Exchange on there, it drops it automatically into this group, so that from day dot, it's being managed the way you manage your Exchange servers, and that includes all your monitoring and your scripting. So again, it's a far more global approach. It's not having you either roll out everything from a template that can then change or be edited by someone else. And it's not an ad hoc procedure, if you like, where you roll out an agent and you're copying all the settings one by one across to the agent. You make it a member of this group, you can drag and drop it in and out of this group as much as you want, and it'll pick up all the settings within this. So if we look at starting off with the scripting approach, so we had all those scripts that we created and can run ad hoc by right click, but here we're looking at the more maintenance side of stuff. What do we want to run on a machine daily, weekly, by way of cleaning it up, making sure it's all the stuff that we want to run on the machine is on there, all the tasks that we have agreed with the client as part of our gold service is in there. And this is picking up this stuff here. If we brought up the gold template, you will see that as a child of managed services, it's picking up a lot of inherited settings. We can remove these if we want. We can add on extra ones. So we need to look at that. So we could have our main managed service approach by way of maintenance, and then we can start layering up the good stuff for gold and the not so good stuff for silver, and basically managed services is equal to your bronze, if you like, so they get everything in there. So we're telling it when to run it, every day, every week, every quarter. Similar with the software. The software is actually picked up from the scripts tab. So if we went back to there and look at software, so all the stuff in there by way of our favorite admin tools, all the applications that all our clients should have on their machine at any given time, all the utilities I want to make sure are installed on that machine. If we go back to there, see that it's picked up on that. It picked up our favorite apps, our favorite utilities, and I want to check every day that these machines that are under management have got these applications installed. So I want to make sure every week that CCleaner is installed. I want to make sure every day that OpenSSH is installed. And this is a far more automated approach to just making sure that when you go to a client's machine and you're expecting something to be installed and available to you to help with the day-to-day management of it, you can have that in there. Now in this section here we're looking at internal and remote monitors. This kind of ties back to Kaseya's alerts and Kaseya's assigned monitoring. The internal monitors probably its equivalent in Kaseya would be the alerts, where we're looking at the agent status, event log monitoring, simple drive monitoring, all that kind of stuff. And the internal monitors within Labtech, the actual terminology being used here, internal monitors is the agent grabbing a lot of data and sending it back to the Labtech server, for the Labtech server then to look at that data and generate alerts on it. So you won't see a lot by way of performance monitoring or anything like that in here. You're looking at basic disk information picked up from the audit. Again, we're looking at event log type stuff. We're looking at the actual Labtech agent. We're looking at basic performance information, software information by way of over licenses, new software installations, the tickets. It's basically taking all the alerts that you are creating within the system. By way of a global approach to it. We want to take them and we want to make sure they're all on one page, so that I've not got some hidden setting somewhere against one agent that's firing off alerts here, there and everywhere. So all these ones in here are enabled, so they'll generate a visible alert on our dashboard. Now if we go into dashboard, try again. There's a good overview. We've got the overview tab within the dashboard here, so we can get a good idea of what's going on by way of offline PCs. Each client pops up with their alerts that are being in there, so we can start looking at that by way of let's have a look at these individual errors and what's happening here. We want to bring up that machine, and again we've got the kind of dashboard approach, which is similar actually to the one we've got in our sidebar now. So if we start looking at stuff, we can have that just running away. So again, we can right click, we can start changing the properties on here. It actually gives you like SQL access, so you can start building up what counters you want to have in here. So it's got a wizard when you're creating new ones. So if we want to